Hello, and welcome to Dorsey's International Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, as well as your guide, Fred Dorsey. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to @Dorsey's Realty on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And you can even subscribe to our newsletter, which can be found on the web at dorseysrealty.com. Hello. Thank you for joining this week's podcast, where we're going to talk about who manages an estate after death. When a loved one passes away, their estate needs to be managed or distributed according to their wishes, as outlined in their will, or by state law if no will exists. But who takes the responsibility of managing the estate? The crucial role is typically filled by an executor or administrator. Understanding who manages after death and what their responsibilities are what can make the process smoother for all involved. What is an executor or administrator, you ask? An executor is the person named in the decedent's will to manage their estate. If there is no will or named executor or is unable or willing to serve, the court will appoint an administrator. Handle the estate, executives and administrators have similar duties, but the difference is how they are appointed. One executor chosen by the decedent's deceased in their will. Second, an administrator appointed by the court where there's no will or no named executor. Both roles are critical in the probate process as they ensure the estate is properly settled and distributed to the rightful heirs or beneficiaries. We're going to now talk into responsibilities of the executor or administrator. The person managing the estate after death has several important responsibilities, including 1. Filing the will with the probate court. 2. Identifying and gathering assets. 3. Paying debts and taxes. 4. Distributing assets to the beneficiaries. And 5. Managing the probate process. Who can serve as an executor or administrator? In most cases, the decedents will name a spouse, adult child, or close family member, the executor of the estate. However, it's most common to appoint a trusted friend or professional, such as an attorney or accountant, to serve the role. When a court appoints an administrator, it often looks to the closest local living relative or surviving spouse or adult child. It's important to choose someone trustworthy, organized, and capable of handling financial matters. As a result, the responsibilities of the estate are time-consuming and legally can be complex. The role of the probate court. The probate court oversees an entire estate administration process. Whether an executive is named in the will or administrator is important, the court ensures that the will is valid, the estate debts are paid and properly, the state debts and taxes are properly paid, the remaining assets attributed rightfully to the heirs. In cases where there's a will that's being contested, the court plays a critical role in resolving disputes and ensuring that the estate is distributed fairly. What if there's no will? When someone passes away without a will, known as a dying intestate, the court appoints an administrator to manage the estate. The administrator has some responsibility as executive, but the estates are distributed according to the state's entity laws, which determine the legal heirs based on family relationships. This can also lead to unexpected outcomes such as distant relatives inheriting assets or the estate being divided in ways the deceased may have not intended. Therefore, having a will is crucial for ensuring that all your estate and manages according to your wishes. How does Dorsey's International Realty help with estate management? At Dorsey's International Realty, we understand how difficult the probate process can be for families. Whether you're an executor, administrator, or beneficiary, we specialize in handling probate real estate, ensuring that your loved one's property is managed, marketed, and sold efficiently. Our teams work closely with estate planners and attorneys to make the transition as seamless as possible. If you are managing an estate or need advice on probate real estate, we're here to assist you in every step. And as we wrap up our summary, the management of the estate after death is a critical responsibility typically taken by an executor or court-appointed administrator. From navigating probate to distributing attorneys' assets, the role requires organization, attention to detail, and often legal guidance. Understanding who manages the estate after death and what responsibilities entail can help avoid confusion and ensure a smoother transition for beneficiaries. At Dorsey's International Realty, we committed to assisting families through the probate process particularly when it comes to real estate. Thanks for listening to another episode of Dorsey's International Real Estate Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Stay connected off the show by visiting Dorsey'sRealty.com. Local expertise, global presence. Your resource for all things probate, estate, and trust in the title.